All right, 4 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get the Drainage Committee meeting started. Let the record reflect that all members are present. Item number 1, update on the Lower Texas Monterey Conshan Himalaya Canals. Mr. Sawar. Any updates, Mr. Bro?
Yeah, I'd like to start tomorrow on all of them. We have canals there, just sweep them out. We don't need a plan. Hell with the engineer. Sure.
All right,
I'm tired of it. Just start sweeping out. Y'all don't want to do it, I'm gonna start.
go ahead.
Mr. Landry, is that anything that we could help out Mr. Bro in-house there?
There's a good fit.
Yeah, I like, canals are there already.
I think y'all got the email too. I think it's April 12th. When he said he wants to have Mr. Joseph said he would have the finalized plans done. I think he emailed us yesterday or the day before. But if we could, again, recoup some of the money that's tied up with it, we could do a good bit of help in-house. That's presently under contract.
Do we need the engineer for any more?
No, I don't think so.
Do you want to terminate the engineering contract?
No, you don't want to. He has a contract?
Not a contract.
In the
I
update
don't-
that he
I don't see
emailed,
anything.
Looking at the update right now.
in the update, he said that his plans are gonna be completed by April 15th.
15.
Start tomorrow.
You get it. They don't have it that way.
No.
They come, it's the LPM.
Aaron, how many big projects are y'all working on right now?
Hardly. 2. Up Dino Street, maybe? 2.
All right, you're working on Mr. Jeff wanted to be all the rest of that material, but that guy's house by the bridge.
Right, so 2.
Pat said he's gonna try to finish that.
That'd be 2.
We were waiting for it to dry up. It was some track dirt. Y'all still got enough people to work maintenance?
Yeah, I believe after. It might be 2 people tied up to finish up the stuff in Ward 2. I think we're at a point now with the Dino Street levy, that it's just 1 person in the machine. And then the larger things past that, it would really just be 1 person on a long reach that's taking care of them.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that, Mr. Avery, you requested the plans from Joseph for the Monterey area to see what we could get started on. But they weren't completed yet, so that's why it wasn't shared with
Yeah,
you.
the one time me and Paul both met with him, it was that same preliminary set that he showed here. And again, we had kind of jotted down some ideas of what we could do in-house. It was probably 2 to 3 portions of it that we could do in-house. So, but yeah.
They got some
we haven't-
stuff drawn in there that Mr. Charles don't want, and he still has it in there.
And just like with the lower Texas, we have the permit somewhere, do we have it in-house? We paid $5,000 for it,
I haven't got it at the office yet.
get it,
The,
we bought that.
no, I get it. It's just normally they're hand delivered, is what I'm saying. Once
I
we
don't
have.
want no more. I'm gonna use it again. Damn soon.
Ms. Kim, what do we, pay the engineering service on these projects? Do you have that?
Not right offhand. No, I'm sorry.
So what, how are we gonna move forward with this, Mr. Bro? You wanna cancel the contract with them? What you wanna do?
Excuse me, Jamie.
I'm
If
sorry.
you look on the drainage report, we have project
Might
92,
delay me, I don't wanna
645.
cancel, we're gonna delay my project.
35,700, and it says contract us up.
35,700?
Yeah.
This area where you have flood problems at?
Yeah,
Okay, so
3 foot of water and 12 houses on one street.
if we go do this work without engineering to go, and then
We
we
can
call
clean it
it,
out, Canfield.
happens.
and then something happens, then the parish more alive with anything else.
We need somebody, we need a stamp, engineer stamp on this job. I won't blame
We got
something that
engineers
we
in
do.
here. They can get them on. I gotta get things done. How about the lower Texas? The permit, Get the permit with the Corps, we got it. Let's roll with it. It's indicated what has to be done. Throw it damn trees over the levee if we can. Get them out the canal, that's all. Remove trees. And there's 3 or 4 people that have machines that they build that operates that way, and we can maybe contact them, and some of it's pretty quick. That's what somebody told.
Well, we sent it out for bid, that service, and we received them.
You have them?
They came in yesterday. Aaron just gave them.
What do you have on them?
I've set them on the list in front of y'all that we would approve, or again, recommend the approval later on the meeting. Maybe. It'd be for the snagging and clearing the waterways. That is-
One item already?
No, I just mentioned it because he asked that we start, we don't have the equipment in-house to do it, and I mean, we
Right.
put out for bid for that service.
When should we get to the item?
So I'm thinking that we spent this $35,700 already with this engineering service. Let's go ahead and wait for his plans. My recommendation that we wait
I
for his
wanna start
plans.
as soon as we can. We
Once we
can
get his plans-
clean out the canals. You understand me? We don't need a plan for that.
Well,
All
you,
you need is a
you made the
machine and
recommendation
operator.
to hire this engineer. So. Let's get the plans in-house and then we'll see how to move forward with, Aaron involved.
Yeah.
Sounds
As soon as
good?
possible.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Item number 2, request approval to allocate $4,000 for drainage improvements for Freetown Lane, Ward 1.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I put this on the agenda. There's some drainage, work that needs to be done on Freetown Lane on both sides of each road. Haven't had any attention, in that area over the last 3 or 4 years. We did a site visit on Friday, Paul and Rusty. Matter of fact, Paul, would you like to chime in on that?
Yeah, the site visit showed that it is a health hazard. The sewer is not getting out. You can tell by the kind of, vegetation that's growing in there, is the kind of vegetation that stays in, that grows in sewer. It's not moving. Since the hurricane passed, there was a big giant tree that fell over and struck the culvert. That's completely blocked. So that side of the street's not draining at all. In the back, I don't know how I got there. There's a big giant oak tree that's right in the middle of the ditch that fills up the whole ditch. There's several culverts that need to be changed. Yeah, you just put at one site visit and all the ditches need to be dug from the front to the back. I talked to Mr. Daniel Madeline. He said he would beat us and probably support us and dig the rest of the canal all the way to 70. If we can get Freetown Lane dug.
After drainage around $4,000?
Yeah, that's just to allocate that. If we need more, if it goes under, we'll revisit that at the next meeting.
I make a motion to allocate the $4,000.
All right, motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, request approval to hire principal engineering for engineering service bidding, project bidding and construction administration not to exceed $32,025 for project 93-229, Ward 2.
Yeah, this is for, a large outfall that has collapsed in Ward 2 along Highway 308. I apologize, I didn't bring that proposal form here, tonight, but that is the amount not to exceed that they have on their proposal to the engineering services, the project bidding, construction land now.
Complete job.
Well,
So
that's just for the
everybody-
engineering services, that's not to pay a contractor to do it.
So
So when was?
explain this outfall for me before we go to bid. Engineer $32,000
So,
on outfall.
it's,
Is it really needed?
yeah, if y'all would want to table it, I could bring all of the photos and the other plan that I had when I first put it back on. That way y'all could look at them. It's a deep outfall. It's probably at least 12 foot deep. It's 24 inches, 120 foot of 24 inch pipe that needs to be replaced at that depth all the way through Isla Fouche. and it's very near, it's near the highway. The way we'd have to excavate it, there'd be a problem with holding spoil there. It would need trench boxes. It was a nightmare of a job because it's in a very tight area. That I did a cost estimate in the house and it was over $40,000 for us to do it in-house, just estimating. So it's a liability right now with it being a humongous hole that we barricaded around it for now, but it's progressively getting worse as it rains.
So it's just an open ditch now.
No, just
It's-
catch basin that.
Yeah.
Totally failed.
It totally failed and
It's
it's
a total failure.
Bring, what table, just get us more
Yeah.
information.
I just don't wanna spend $32,000 on engineering if we don't need it.
Yeah, table.
All right,
All right,
Steel
table item number 3.
You need steel.
Item number
That's
4,
probably the easiest way.
request approval for culvert replacement at 3700 Highway 1 Ward 2.
Looking for that.
Yes, it's a project involves replacing 120 feet of collapsed outfall culvert. Completing this project will repair a large sinkhole that has formed and restore drainage flow capacity in the area. It's the project award for along Highway 1.
The total cost of $4,850.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Pro, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, request approval for culvert replacement at 115 French Lane.
It's replacing 20-foot section of a collapsed culvert. It's a viable project.
Total cost of $790. Motion by Mr. Bro,
Second.
second by Mr. Patterson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, request approval for culvert replacement on Little Texas Road, Ward 4.
They're the same. It's a 20-foot section of collapsed culvert under a driveway. It's a viable project also.
Total cost of $1,500. Motion by Mr. Bro, second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, request approval to dig economic 8 outfall ditch.
Yeah, this, Mr. Charlie put this on the agenda and, I have a cost estimate here for it. It's the Economy 8 outfall. It's one large section of ditch and one, I would say medium-sized section of ditch. It's 2,100 feet, that would need to be, swept and some trees removed.
Also check under the high rate of coverage, is going to buy the Foosh, I think those are stocked up on those two. You know, by Georgia Road, Georgia on both sides of the road, and then at Supreme Tire, and at Supreme, the other one, going to Georgia.
Okay.
Those outfalls, if you could flush them on down.
Total cost of $5,000. Motion by Mr. Bro,
Yeah.
second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, request approval to clean the outfall from Georgette Street, from Georgia Plantation to Supreme, Ward 4.
So another outfall Mr. Charlie had put on the agenda, it's 780 feet. That was, we have done it one time already, I think several years ago, but it's a viable project. It's just gonna require a right of way.
That water's gonna drain back to Bayou Lafourche? Or is it
From-
just going to the bank?
From this section here where it dead stops at a tree, there's no more ditch that takes off towards Highway 1. This right here just improves the drainage coming back towards the drainage pump itself.
And then we also have a pipe under there that's busted. Yeah.
The total cost of $1,000.
Right, there is, it's what we had talked about upsizing one of them.
Is this the same area where we're looking at, raising the levee on the back of Georgette by the
Yeah.
pumps?
Yes.
Yeah, the water comes back behind those houses. And it's.
so when we dig the canal, we get build
Yeah,
the
just
level
put
while we
it
building
right
it.
there.
I believe that once we get the plans back,
He said
that
it's
you'll never need a
possible.
levee there again.
Yeah.
And the Murray won't never flood again, but we gotta
Sure.
get past this
All right.
first.
Oh, that's some strong words right there.
Who said that?
Boy, that's some strong words. You just said the Monterey will never flood again? Well, that's some strong words,
That's
bro.
it, that's why I'm here, I don't want it to flood anymore.
Boy, that's some strong words. Wow.
Alright, we got $1,000 cost on there. Motion by Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Brewer. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, request approval to get hydraulic modules for Gilmore Drainage Project, Ward 6.
Yes, we got the plans and went over with, GIS. And he recommended that we do hydraulic module because some of the elevations, we don't think we need all that work done to the front. If we can't get the water out the back. So I think the estimated cost on that would be about $10,000. So I recommend that we take $10,000 out of that project to do that. We probably save money on the back end by not having to do all that work up front. Just have to probably hit a few areas.
We could just go and shoot it ourselves.
The ones,
We just go shoot the elevations ourselves.
no, I wanna make sure it's done right for this kind of money that we spending.
The elevations have been shot. It's making sure that the outfalls can handle the capacity of rainwater that's falling in that area.
So what happens if the models come back and it shows that it can't?
Well, the outfalls need to be addressed.
Yeah. They're digging out Bertrand Hill Canal right now. We're about to do St. Vincent project. So we can get, the water's getting to the back, just clogging up once it get back there.
So that's a totally different project in the back.
So what, no, all that water goes to the back. So
Yeah,
all
that's
that,
what I'm saying.
all that project was included in this project right here. But all the changing the covers up front might not even need to be.
Right. Okay.
So I make a motion that we,
10,000?
10,000.
So excuse me, Chris, this is not a new allocation. You're thinking it's gonna come out of the,
Yeah, out of the money we already got.
out of the
Yeah, 'cause we're
existing?
gonna save on the back
Well, you
end.
should be good there.
Yeah.
You got the money there.
So
already.
just a scope change
Yeah.
somewhat, yeah, okay.
So that's. What is that funding source though?
Let's go, Mason.
Go Mesa.
We can't
But
hire.
we can't do, yeah, do professionals, federal money.
Okay, take 10,000, I'm got my
You
drainage.
got drainage, no drainage?
Taking out my drainage.
You have the existing project 93058, which is that project, which has 3,352 in it.
So use that and then take the.
Take the
other-
remaining.
The remain out my drainage.
Well, Chris, we neck and neck on that drainage money. We neck and neck on that drainage money.
And you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yep. Hey,
All right, motion by Mr. Carter to take the remaining, money from his drainage.
second.
Second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Alright,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, request approval for $700 for delivery of excavator for project 93-223, Ward 8.
And this was, I had the wrong calculation on the sheet from the last meeting, so we need to do this again.
All right, don't take it from me twice now.
No, it's, we're waiting to make the appeal now.
All right,
so move.
motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, request approval for levee repairs, 456 Bayou Drive, Ward 8.
So this is, it'd kind of be a two-part project. The main part now that I'm recommending is we repair the levee and dig 1,400 feet of the Ballroom Canal that is there along this levee. I think it's a viable project. The estimated labor that's there now is encapsulating the digging and the levee repair, but also the possibility of moving the pump. So we're waiting on prices to come back. Or that also with the coordination with energy. Because we're trying to determine if we could actually get three-phase power right there, so. But yeah, so viable project.
Total cost of $5,000.
What is that, Tim?
It's behind, Gerald Crochet.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Brewer. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 12, request approval for culvert replacement at 117 Gerald Street, Ward 9.
This will be replacing 60 foot of collapsed culvert, and one damaged catch basin. It's a viable project.
Total cost of $2,200. Motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, request approval to allocate Gomesa funds to purchase discharge piping for the Paul Street Pump Station in the amount of $35,000. Is it Brian?
Brian, you got something?
You were asking for pictures?
Yeah, Brian,
I don't know.
okay, that's good.
Yeah, because of the considerable size of the pipe, so it's actually 24 inch. We're gonna need about 40 foot for each pipe, so that's gonna make 80 foot. Due to the cost, we're gonna have to actually go out because of procurement laws. I'm gonna have to acquire 3 prices from separate vendors before we can purchase it with Gomesa money. We also gonna need some additional flanges that to weld onto the steel piping to mate up against the PVC. So, you know, roughly, you're looking at about $35,000.
They could do their own labor, we just gotta apply the material.
Well, we're gonna be there doing another project at the same time, but they're handling,
They are in the well and
Yes.
everything.
so just the best we could do is estimate it right now because we do have to go out with 3 prices.
We need that
So
motion.
we're buying the material?
Yeah, we buying the material.
He wants to buy the
Gomesa.
material with Gomesa funds.
So you got 2 discharge pipe that's
So you're gonna have
Completely.
$35,000 for labor for the contractor to install?
Not
No, it has
No.
nothing to do with the
That's
contract.
just material.
Just materials.
What size pipe you need?
It's 24 inch piping. You need 24 inch Vasquez flanges and you're gonna need bell ends on, one side.
That's more steel pipe and they ride it out and they're washing out the leather. That's nice.
Okay, let's approve it, and then, I'm gonna work on this after. Maybe.
Well, I just told you, I'm gonna have to get 3 prices anyway, so it may be a substantial drop, but we need to allocate a certain amount of money.
Would a better path forward be to put it out for a 30-day bid? That we
Are we
would have it
gonna?
on an annual bid for other pipe sizes?
Yes, we're gonna put it on a 30-day bid contingent to the December 31st of this year, and then next year it'll be on the bid again.
So it's not obtaining the 3 quote, it's.
I'm gonna get 3 quotes now if we wanna move forward with the project.
The pipe is leaking water. I
What
mean,
size pumps we have there?
That's 24 inch.
You got 2 diesel pumps. You need up the little
So-
bag.
I had a revised price from another vendor, and it was still $26,000 with a little bit of a reduction. So, Ira provided with me a couple contacts at some other places that I'm gonna reach out to get some additional costs, and see where we're at.
Motion
For the record, we need a funding source.
He's trying to run Go Mesa.
Oh, 789 Ringler?
You're gonna have to put the brakes after this one.
Yeah.
Y'all
Hey,
be
motion
sure.
by Mr. Mathern to approve $35,000.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
And it's part of Ward 8 now.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah, Jim?
Motion to adjourn.
It's part of Ward 8 too.
By Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard. You can adjourn.
All right, it's 4:24. We'll get the personnel committee meeting started. Let the record reflect all members are present. Item 1, request approval to hire an accountant at a grade 8, step 13.
Yeah, we did receive a handful of applicants. The chairman and I did interview 2 young ladies, and, my recommendation is an accountant at grade 8, step 13. And I did provide you all that resume. For review. No, we have replacing somebody. This is technically in the long run we are, but this is to take over Michelle's task so Michelle can get back to training under Melissa, which is in the long run replacing when Kim O'Quinn was here, but then she left and Michelle was always supposed to be the additional, but then Kim left. So it's always,
So move.
When should it be ready to start, Kim?
she's gonna have to get 2 weeks. I would think mid-April.
Very impressive.
Interview was very, very, very
Very
well.
good.
Is, Michelle helping, working with, Melissa now?
She has
She
taken
helped?
on, yes, she has taken on several of those tasks, but in order for her to get into Melissa's work even further, she can't be doing those
Yeah.
tasks.
Okay.
So this person is gonna take those tasks and take Michelle's position, so Michelle can free
You got a
up.
spot for her?
I got, no.
I'm gonna have to put it in the cubby,
Are
where
you-
Rieta was, where the grants coordinator was before.
Who's helping Melissa? Is she helping her? Are you helping her?
Well, we all
With,
doing what we
with,
can, yeah.
Yeah.
I know she's still trying to get back at
Yeah,
100%, you know what I mean?
God, we know.
Yeah.
We.
Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion passed. Item two, request approval to end probationary period for equipment operator three, effective 4/4/25.
My recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor? Nays, motion passed. Item three, request approval to end probationary period for equipment operator one B, effective 4/4/25.
My recommendation also.
Motion by Mr. Knockin,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter, all in favor? Nays. Item three, request approval to end probationary period for general maintenance worker effective 4/6/25.
My recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Palmville, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, motion passed. Item five, request approval to hire operator three, grade 5, step 28.
My recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Palmville.
Second.
Second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Item six. Request approval to hire maintenance worker grade 4, step 13.
Can we identify maintenance worker as to what department maintenance? We have general fund maintenance, road and bridge maintenance, and drainage maintenance. And 1% maintenance.
What account looks the best?
Well, no, it depends where this person is gonna be working. What are they gonna be doing?
He's at the community center.
1%.
We've got two people, so we're gonna have two people at the community center?
No, we're gonna-
Transition her out.
Move another person out.
Okay, so this person's going to the community center?
Correct.
So then we have to move that other one. That, you're gonna have to get that changed.
Are we pretty much full yet, caught up with hiring? Or
I believe so, once these two gentlemen come in, I think I was trying to get at least one more grounds maintenance, like grass cutter. So there's a possibility for that. Yep.
And a couple numbers.
That's what you.
That's not a bad idea because you only have one crew. And then when you have commodities, which with, the housing department, it takes away from other duties being able to get done. So yes, I think we need at least two, another one. I agree with that.
all right, number 7, request approval to review and.
Motion on number 6, I'm sorry. Do you have a motion? Yeah, I don't have a motion.
Motion by Mr. Carter, second by Mr. Knockin, all in favor? Nay, motion passed. Item 7, request approval to review and adopt job description for job title foreman.
Yeah, this is, I have an updated, proposed, another organizational chart, and this would be an updated job description for the job title of foreman.
Before we approve them, I'd like to get a chance to better look at it, because we just received this today. What's your thoughts on?
Chairman.
You also need a grade applied to each one, and then I guess the second one, Aaron, the general foreman, road and bridge, we already have that. Is this just a revision for the existing? But the first one is new.
Correct. Yeah, let's take a look at that.
I say we table it
Let's table
to,
it. Let's table the form, job description, we'll take a look at it right here on the TV.
Do we really need a foreman job?
so we need to look at it.
Just go with a general pool.
All right, number 7, we'll table. Look into it further. Item 8, request approval to review and adopt job description title for general foreman. I would recommend the same thing, I guess.
Did y'all change anything in the job description of general form?
I took out some outdated, verbiage, with some things that we weren't even associated with anymore.
Let's table that one also.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
It's
table-
just a revision.
we'll table number 8. Number 9, discuss recommendation from past manager related to personnel changes.
Going into that?
I'm gonna have to look to.
Yeah, I mean, I suggest we do.
We need to move that station for this?
Are they specific individuals and when the individual is notified?
Yeah.
Okay, and if that's the case, if you want to go into executive session. yeah.
Motion for executive session.
Motion by Mr. Carter.
Second.
Second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor? Nay. Motion by Mr. Carter,
Second.
second by Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Nays? All right, item 9, we discussed the, recommendations from the past manager, and no action was taken.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Nakane,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
5:07, we'll get the finance committee meeting started. Let the record reflect all members are present. First item, request approval to pay list of bills submitted through March 21st, 2025.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, request approval of budget comparison statements for February 2025, included in your packet.
No.
Motion approved.
Motion approved by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss previous approval to transfer 90,000 to Veterans Park from Ward 789, Ward 789 Ring Levy Project for the matching funds for the emergency pavilion.
Yeah, since, we got an opinion from the bond attorneys, I'm thinking there was a, positive expenditure. I request that we do not allow the $90,000 for the emergency pavilion for sandbagging operations. Form of a motion.
Mike, did you have a chance to look at that?
Yeah, and look, we've got information from the legislative auditor, from the auditor, in addition to the bond attorney. I wasn't sure if any of the other jurymen wanted to present some information. I am not an expert in grant funding. So again, although we can take that under advisement, what's been presented, again, I don't necessarily have any objection as it relates to any of this.
I spoke to the auditor and, asked her if she had, what she had to make that decision on, and she basically said she erred on the side of caution. And I asked if I could share some additional information with her, she would relook at it, and she said she would. So I would ask that we table this and, give her an opportunity to review that and get back with us to see if she stands behind her opinion or if she changes her opinion. And the bond attorney did not give an opinion, he deferred to the auditor.
Why are we going to an audit? I mean, I think we should be getting legal advice, not the auditor. Audit is just an audit finding. If we do it wrong, they're gonna fine us. I mean, we want the right opinion, but I think we should be getting it from legal.
Well, especially in the way of Go Mesa funds, the auditors are seeing the projects that are being done throughout the state more than what we are. So they have more experience with these types of projects.
No, but nothing that they tell us is gonna be legal binding. So if we go to bonding attorneys or attorney to get advice, that's binding. I mean, we going to audit, that's just like coming to me and I say, oh yeah, you go ahead and do it, or don't do it.
And he declined to give us an opinion when requested.
So it's a big gray area there.
I mean, table it and let's see what else we can get, but I think we should be going to legal experts instead of going to auditors.
I
My
agree.
personal opinion.
And I think after, it's gonna be a viable project after it all comes back, and we do have some wording that, share with y'all that, authorized uses, is purpose and activities for purposes of coastal protection, including conservation, coastal restoration, hurricane protection, and infrastructure directly affected by coastal wetland losses. I mean, if this don't fit in that category, nothing will. So it's a direct cost from general drainage each time that we have a flooding event that occurs in the Piedmont Bell River area, that the general drainage absorbs all the entire cost of it. So,
I'm gonna do what the president wanted, we'll table and try to get more advice.
Mr. Nakane had made a motion. Do you retract that motion and table it, or?
I'm going with the bond attorney's opinion.
The bond attorney did not advise an opinion. He deferred to the auditor.
And he just said, I defer to the auditor's opinion. I tend to agree, is what he
I would
stated.
agree.
But again, if that's not a written.
It's not a legal opinion.
I don't want to put him in a bind if you all want to represent request something formal from him. I think that.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, that's just some
I'll
legal.
retract. Yeah.
You want a formal opinion from the bond
Yes,
attorney?
please.
Yes.
Motion to table.
Table.
Can we just make sure he has all the information? So if there's other materials, Jamie or Leroy or Myron, if you have other materials, please make sure Kim can provide that to the bond attorney, because it's, doesn't do us any good if he's only going off of half the story.
And
We should make
I'll
sure
let
he
y'all see the letter before I send it, so
Yes, do.
I'm not, it's
Yeah.
not
That way he has
biased
everything he
one way
needs
or
to
the
do.
other.
Basically.
That's good.
I just want I want to say one thing. We are all on the same page here, whether it appears that way or not, we are. Okay, we talked about that.
We all are.
We are.
We all are.
It might
We
not
are.
appear that way, but we all have the same goals in mind.
Our job is to protect the general fund. I don't get charged back $90,000.
And the parish as
And the
well.
parish. Without a doubt.
Get legal-
Just cross our
get legal
T's, dot our I's.
opinion.
That's
Yeah.
it. No action. That's it. Bottom line.
Well, we're gonna request a legal opinion from the
Yes.
bond attorney.
Yes.
All right. Next item, discuss the grants management contract with South Central Planning and Development Commission and their request for additional $30,000 to complete year one of the contract.
All right, we asked, Mr. Maloney to come ask him, tell us why you want 30,000 more, besides we loaded y'all up with a lot more grants.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kevin Belanger, CEO of South Central Planning. Look, when we entered into this agreement, we were hopeful that we could be able to do exceptional grant writing for you and management services over a year for $50,000. We knew that you guys were kind of strapped, and I'm here today to tell you that if you seek not to expand the allowance of the 30,000, we will continue to honor the contract. We are not going to end our commitment, not at all. But we are using our exact rates for billable rates. And we would be taking probably about a $30,000 loss at our agency. In order to have good spirit of cooperation and coordination, we would ask that we would be able to increase that. I think all of you who have dealt with our commission with grants are pleased, at least from what I gather from the discussions I've had with our staff and actual discussions that I've had with individuals on the jury. I think that we all know that it's working very well and it's moving along quite well. We will continue to honor our contract, no matter what you decide. I want that to be clear. I'm not here to put you in a situation that you feel you have to do this. You do not. But what it will do is cause me to consider what we do after June 1st. I can't continue to take losses with our commission. It just can't happen. We would have to negotiate a fee that I think that would be able to carry us through for that particular year. In all the 28 years that I've been CEO with the commission, we have never had a change order with our commission, ever. But never have we just blindly bid a particular project. We started this project with 16 projects. Today we have 21. We have additional work. Your water sector grant projects, y'all know the extensive work that our staff has done to keep it where it's moving. You know, we're asking, look, we know it's tough. We know you're strapped. We hope that you can find 30 to help us out where it doesn't become a hindrance for us. It's just very much, you know, we knew that this was an estimate that we had given to you that we would start and it would be a pilot. I think it's worked very well. Our staff are very happy to work. Kim and Rayetta have done a good job working with us. I think that, you know, the communication could be better, but then that would mean Rayetta and Kim would not be able to take vacation ever. In other words, they're overworked. We know that. We try not to bother them. We only do that when we really have to. So we're kind of working, I wouldn't say in the blind a lot, but we're trying to not bother them to be able to take them from their chores that they have. If you want specifics, I have Mr. Pat Gordon with me today. He will be able to answer them. He's on the agenda throughout your agenda. And we would ask for consideration. Our books are open. There's no profits being generated by any of the funds that we're asking for. This is actual cost that it takes to operate this. And I would venture to tell you that if you had to go out and hire a particular grant writer, a good grant writer who is very well-rounded in all 21 of these projects, you're gonna pay in excess of 100,000. This is a good agreement that we entered into. It was in good faith with us and good faith with you. We want to continue that. And once again, we just ask for your consideration.
How is each grant paid for? I mean, is it, not each grant, but they're cut.
Well, that's what, can Pat come to the front with you as well?
Right.
Pat, remember our phone conversation we had where everybody was on about the billing system? We had some quirks we had to work out, because what was happening was they were sending us the billing based on all the grants. And we had, I'm gonna use Chris's for instance, Joe Lamore, which we knew plans and everything were complete, but there was nothing going on because we didn't have funding. But yet they were charging hours and hours for it, and we were like, well, why is this? So in our communications, we got that worked out. What they were doing was just divvying up and spreading it across the board of all the grants. And we said, no, that's not the way we wanted. Time should be allocated as it's worked. And if Pat's present here at a meeting for this public hearing, his time should be allocated towards that particular grant. So we worked that out. So that should answer your question. So any recreation, any park,
Well, I think,
projects?
let me add to that. Pat Gordon, Plan Director, South Central Planning. What was happening is we had the initial 16 projects, but then there were 7 additional projects that were added. I think Mr. Leroy Blanchard added those to the list, but the other projects were never added to the list. So we didn't have coding, we didn't have proper accounting codes to those particular projects. So when we were working on capital outlay, we were working on LGAP, or we were working on whatever, it was being spread out through all the other
Right, the other
projects.
projects.
That's what happened.
And what we communicated in that phone conference was that the list should have been modified as this jury approved new
Right,
projects.
correct.
Therefore, giving their accounting system a
And-
code to set up and control.
Just to let you know, that list is hopefully in your packet.
Is it?
It is.
It is,
Okay,
okay.
that list is in your packet, and if you could just accept that list as the new list, we would
Right.
have something to go by in order to go back to those invoices and correctly charge where it needs to be charged.
Right. So for our purposes, a recreation grant is typically going to be charged to general fund. Any kind of drainage project is going to be charged to the drainage fund. The LATAP applications for sidewalks or anything like that are going to go to the road fund. So it just depends what the application is. A capital outlay application for a building construction is going to go to 1%. So we're going to charge it based on the project.
And don't some of these grants have administrative fees tagged with it that we can claim?
Well, and that's a good question, all right, because what happens is, here we are, and let's talk about LCDBG. It's a good example. Okay, we have a public meeting here tonight, for the project, and we have been setting up and working with Assumption on, trying to get a project and gearing up for an application. But OCD looks at us as being, having an unfair advantage to manage in that grant application or the administration of that grant once it's awarded. So we would have to actually do an RFQ to get a grant manager to come on and handle LCDBG in order for Assumption to get the admin funds for that grant. Then you could pay that grant manager with those funds, but you can't pay us because you didn't procure us.
Right. I think you get more.
And most of those other grants that we have do not have administration. Right? Most of those
Yeah,
other
most
ones
of
that
them.
we have do not have administration.
Not that I'm aware of.
Me.
That's
It's
correct.
LCBG.
But the only one is LCDBG.
No. Yeah,
Excuse me?
the land and water should have administration money in it too.
Well, she hasn't mentioned it to me yet.
I think it should. Just check on it. I think it does.
Oh, no, well, for some of the pre-application information, right?
So I think with the coding, where they need to be coded properly. I mean, we don't want y'all work for nothing, naturally, right? So the grants that y'all working on, we need to know what fund, road and bridge, 1%, whatever,
And,
where it's
and we
coming
talked
from.
about
have
that in
that
work.
set up.
We need that to know, you follow me? And no doubt y'all doing a good job for us. They took a load of us, because I don't know where we'd be at without y'all right now, without y'all. you know, so.
Yeah, when we initially put it in place, they didn't know how many people they would have to assign to us.
Right.
And I mean, the number of projects changed, and I know I've worked with at least 5
We have
different people.
I know
We have 6 people.
Right, and I can tell you, it's invaluable to have their individual expertise for these different types grants. You know, it's,
This is.
I think it's a
win-win.
bargain if we get it for 60,000 a year.
Refresh my memory, yeah, the year, is calendar year or y'all fiscal year?
No, it goes from June to June.
Okay.
We start, well, we could go to a calendar July, if that's.
Six and nine.
Well, they're 50, yeah.
We can do whatever.
But the contract, it does give you an option to go with another 3 years. Okay, but
No,
the
I
first
get
year
it.
is just
I
a
get it.
holiday
I get it. I
process.
get it. It'll be a lot easier for us to spend it. It's never easy to spend money, but to code the money to each particular project, you gotta come out. I don't, cause I don't want.
That's the way we do it. There's no other way to.
I
We don't,
know
it's
it.
not just a general fund expenditure.
I know it, but we didn't know where these projects, these grants was coming from.
They got all of that straight, yeah.
But we worked
I
on
know
that.
it, I know
That
it.
was just internal. Like when we got the bills, we were like, wait, there's no way.
I know, that's what
You know.
I'm
So,
saying.
so we were thinking on our end, we were thinking, well, wait, Pat, if you're saying you're over your contract amount, but you're charging us, for example, for Jolimar, and if that charge is wrong, then you're not over your contract. But what was happening was they were actually working on another project, not on the list yet. So the work was still being done. So they weren't over their amount.
Correct.
They were
That's
meeting their
absolutely
amount,
correct.
but just it was not coded to the right project.
Right.
That's absolutely correct.
So the $30,000 over 3, 4 different funds don't hurt that.
It's gonna come across to the funds that are the projects.
Associated with it.
Correct, correct.
With that being said.
So you're asking for 30, what's the best you can do now? On borrowing.
30. He won 30.
You know, I wanna
It's
be
easy
honest
for
with
y'all to
you.
just
If
give
we can
money.
do it for 25, we won't bill you the 30. We just wanna make sure that we have enough capacity to be able to finish the.
You requested
year.
up to 30?
We're requesting up to 30.
And if I can just ask George, if we could just not keep applying for more and more and more till we get some of these done.
Well, they gotta, you can't
They're
do
rolling.
anything until it comes from
They're
the
rolling.
jury. Not the record,
We've
just the
been-
result.
we've been sitting on money for
Gotta
almost
be
3-4
a
years now, and we still
resolution
not
from the
spending.
jury before you do anything.
Let's start spending the money we got, but we
Well, that
we
hasn't.
gotta get
That
it.
hasn't
Okay,
happened.
all
Right.
right.
But we're getting close to that.
Because sometimes we'll, I might be
Well, no,
good.
it's-
Hey,
it's-
can you work on this grant? Not thinking and say, hold up, I gotta back up. I can't do
Actually,
it.
it's been discussed at some of the meetings, okay? It's just that it wasn't, put in a resolution and it wasn't authorized to be placed on
Just
the
a little
list.
communication breakdown, but we think we've
Yeah,
fixed that.
right.
But it has worked very well, and I think the jury itself understands how this should work. And look, we've only been at this, what, 8 months, 7, 8 months? I think we're all kind of learning.
25,000? Go with that.
35 is good.
I make a motion that we discuss the grant, well, contract.
He's over here to bargain with us. I mean, he's not.
Request for, you said 30,000 increase, I know it read that way, but up to $30,000.
Do 20.
You're 25.
My motion is 30.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Carter, to increase the contract amount, up to 30,000 to complete the 1 year of the contract. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval to accept annual bids for waterway debris removal and large diameter culverts.
Yeah, I placed, both bid calculations and some of them.
We got it. Right. Oh, I looked at it. Big distance.
This is for,
One was for snagging and clearing waterways. It was a day rate. And the other one was for a steel reinforced polyethylene pipe.
The other one for what?
A steel reinforced polyethylene pipe. It's just a large pipe used on large drainage projects.
We didn't have an annual bid for large diameter culverts.
naturally, in event if needed, if needed. If emergency and we get, just like a pause at the pre-event, part of a pre-event contract.
Yeah, correct.
Motion to approve the low bidder.
A motion on the floor by Mr. Nakam,
Second.
second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion adjourned.
Oh, no, I have it on a DBA for you all to consider. We talked at the last meeting, Judge Menard was here about the move and relocation to Napoleonville. So we've been kind of doing some different things to expedite that. I did meet with the furniture supplier on yesterday who has a state contract for furniture. So we walked through the offices, did measurements, and he provided me a quote for $10,000 to cover all the furniture that is needed.
Motion deviate.
We got a second deviation to go with that also. Aaron has sent me, that's the pictures of the pickup trucks on here. They're in a situation right now that the mosquito abatement truck is out of service and the cost of repair is pretty extensive.
Wow.
It would be the grass spraying truck.
Oh, grass spray, I'm sorry. So, this is, to consider purchasing these vehicles. So, motion to deviate by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Kim, you can discuss the.
I think I kind of said everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, the price for all the furniture would be, I think the actual price came back. He says there's no shipping at a total of $9,562.19. So I was just gonna request 10,000. That is not gonna be inclusive of computers. Justin is gonna be working on those and getting with the IT guy next week. They have a meeting on that. And that's also not inclusive of whatever building, telephone and internet hookups.
All that's coming out of 1%.
Yes, motion.
Motion to approve 10,000 out of 1% for, furnishings for the new judge's office. By Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Carter. Any public comment on this item? Second call, last call, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. All right, the second deviation, relates to a pickup truck for grass spraying, Mr. Lambert.
So, our grass spraying truck currently went down, recently. It needs $10,000 worth of work on the front end, and the truck isn't worth that, it's a 2008. So we are currently taking the existing spray skid and outfitting it and putting it in a current vehicle we have now, the 3/4 ton that could take it. And again, that takes the truck away from an operator that was using it, fuel tank, toolbox, obviously to go to job sites. But Brian located these pickup trucks on that, I think it's the federal surplus, places in Baton Rouge. I guess I'll just ask for permission to purchase both of them, because we can do POs through them, pending them being checked out by he and myself, before we move forward with anything.
You said these would be two road and bridge vehicles?
Ma'am?
Road and bridge?
Yes, ma'am.
One for 18,750 and all for 18,350.
Make sure they ain't got no oil leaks.
Yeah, we're gonna, that's why we're gonna take it around to go look at them if we get.
Three at a drive.
Entertain a motion to approve, pending the inspection by, Mr. Blankenship and Mr. Landry. Motion by Mr. Alcorn, second by Mr. Pineville. All in, any public comment regarding the purchase of these pickup trucks? Second call. That's all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Let's go on and get started with the Road and Bridge Committee meeting. Let the record reflect that our members are present. 2 items on the agenda. Number 1, request approval to close out 2023 road overlay program. I guess, y'all, received emails, from the engineer. You've all seen his recommendation. I think it's time for us to close this out. But I'd like to make a request that we pay the contractor $110,789.44, which includes withholding $13,750 for work that was not performed. I'd like to entertain a motion for that, unless y'all have any questions.
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Blanchard. Second by Mr. Pineville. All in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. Item number 2, discuss 2025-26 road overlay program. So now we can move forward. Since we've closed this road program out. I've had a chance to get the budget, the fund balance to what we have currently and what is expected to come in by the end of the year. So it's pretty healthy. I'm requesting that we allocate $3,800,000 to do our 25-26 road overlay program.
What we had last year?
2.7, 2.8 million. So, with this healthy fund balance, this is gonna allow us to, do more roads. This should bring us each to about 375,000 in our respective areas to try to do good road improvements.
You got 6.
You ain't gonna get 6.
When would this start?
Well, just to set a budget, we need to set a budget first, and we need to start getting our roads together, start looking at our.
What's in the
But
fund?
we don't really have 3.8. Look at
By
these
the time
pending
we start-
applications.
By the time we start by the time we finish, we ain't gonna finish before December 25. So that money is estimated there.
I know, but we have commitments of 240,000 in those LATAP grants. So if those LATAP grants come through, we're not even gonna have the 3.8.
Well, that's only gonna be a match, right? And the tap is opening up April 1st. I think it's closing May. It's opening up April 1st, right? So, I don't think that's gonna come through this year. I don't
You're
think.
talking about the 2025 applications. I'm talking about the 2023 applications. Look, Bell Road sidewalks and Highway 403. Look,
So even though we were awarded, but we never, I see the 30,000, I see the,
This is what we've already committed on. This is,
But you got to county the award.
I just think the 3.8 might be a little hard.
Drop it down to
3.5.
3.5.
I want to try to get everybody, you know,
Drop down to
3.5, 3.5 is good.
3.5.
Yeah, that's good.
We never know
3.5
if
is
something
good.
comes up with a bridge.
We have.
The good thing about,
That
the only good thing about it, we have dollars coming in every month, you know, I mean, I can remember, I told Kim that this day, I can remember when we had right at 99 to 100,000 coming in every month, but with the healthy fund balance, we've, you know, it's been consistent, at about 130, almost $40,000, so I hope it keeps going that way.
That's the sales tax.
That's still, I hope it keeps going that way, but I'm good at 3.5 million. I still think that's pretty healthy, and I still think we all can do some good in our areas with that.
Yeah, something that I'd like us to consider is the way we approach the whole road program, and rather than the jurors deciding what roads needs to be done, I think the parish manager should be involved in this process.
Nope.
He's working on repair procedures right now to fix roads that have blowouts in them. We don't have to repave the entire length of a road if we only have a small section that has a blowout.
Each jury they decide what roads they want done in their ward. Let me tell you something. This jury for a long time accepted a lot of roads in different areas, knowing that you only get so much money each year to do repairs, each 2 years. So now that you got all these roads in your area and you only can repair so many, you want to tell this jury here, he can't repair none here?
No, I'm not
No.
saying that you can't repair. All I'm saying is I'd like the parish manager to give his opinion on which ones need to be re-engineered and which ones can be repaired, hire a contractor, and not have to use.
You might be doing the road you don't need to be doing.
$50,000 on the engineer.
What's
You don't have
what's
to.
been going on for the last past, I don't know how many years, been working for each
No, it's
juror?
not, no, it's
Well,
not.
I recommend that we keep it the same way.
First thing we need to set a
Remember the
budget.
rules.
I don't want to have to redo a road that we don't have to.
First thing we need to do, we need to set a budget. The second thing we need to do is start to gather the roads that we think that needs repair and overlay in our areas.
And let them look out.
Let them look at it.
Yeah,
At that point, we should expect and not just tell the engineering company, I want that road done because of a favor. It should be that the road needs to be done, period.
And Eric can look at them.
All right, so
But
I'll make a motion that we
no,
do
we
3.5 million.
We
Let's
put
set
that on ourselves by demanding and saying and trying to do favors. See, I put it out there years ago, or when I first got here, we should be doing this constantly every year so that we can have constantly improvement in the parish. But no,
I agree.
people say election time, they need favors, I need a road done, blah, 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 and that's why we are where we are today. So that's why that's coming up. That's why it's coming up.
My new road is bad. All my roads are bad.
Yeah, you got bad soil back there, we
Yeah,
know,
that's all.
we know. But I think the first thing we need to do is make sure that we
Yeah.
put a budget. And then we need to start looking at, we need to ride our areas and look at the roads that need repair, overlay, or replacement, bottom line. And then we go from there.
I'm good for that.
So I got a motion that we set the budget at 3.5.
I'm good with that.
There's a motion on the floor, Mr. Pineville, to establish a 25-26 road
Hey,
overlay
we still in
program
road-
with a budget of
we still in-
3.5
We
million.
still in road and bridge, boss.
Oh, I'm sorry. Trying to roll this on, I'm sorry.
Got a motion by Mr. Palmer, can I entertain a second?
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Mathern. All in favor?
Alright,
All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. Meeting to adjourn?
alright, now let's, talk about the engineering on these.
Okay, you wanna move there? Okay.
Right, so I saw his email, it looks like he automatically thinks that he has the project.
Saw the email, but that didn't say.
He had a
He
contract.
just he threw it out there. He threw it out there, based off, his language of looking at new roads. So yes, he put a 9% curve out there, which what he's done in the past. I think that's been very fair to the parish. So, but I mean, we need to look at that. We need to review that before we make any decision.
Yeah, I think we need to seek other options, like Leroy said, any roads that we could do or, patchwork, you know, that, the parish manager could recommend. It's a cost savings for us, that way we could do extra roads.
Yeah, but we're still gonna need engineering for some of these bad roads like
Not
y'all
all
got.
of them.
Like y'all got,
Saying
so
the
we
parish
still, I mean, we
manager-
still,
the Parish manager got more work than he can handle right now, can't keep up with what he got. The jurors normally recommend what they want done on their road, they want it packed, they
Well,
want
then
it
we can
packed.
all get
If
in
they
the bus and
want
we're
it-
gonna ride it,
If
we're
they
gonna
want
grade
it,
the roads.
if they want it overlaid, they get it overlaid. So why we
No,
want to
that's
make these
not,
changes
we're not
now?
gonna waste money overlaying a road that don't need to, Chris.
It's not wasting money. If that
Yes,
juror
it is.
decide his road is better,
Yes,
get
if
it
you're gonna
overlaid,
do
get it
that for a
overlaid.
vote, yes, it is wasting money.
No, no, I don't know what you want to do yours for, I mean, but, you know, you got how many roads in your ward? And I got how many in my ward? So.
Just because we got the same amount
No,
of.
we don't have
roads,
this, we don't have the same amount of rules, but what it is you wanna use, and we've been through this already, you wanna use majority of the money, because y'all got, don't get me wrong, you got a lot of roads back there that's bad. But I might have 4 or 5 that won't get done.
that-
you got- but you
just
got
because
8
you
that
wanna
you
get
wanna
them
get
done,
done.
don't mean that you have to.
No,
We're
because
gonna-
they're bad. I'm not gonna recommend getting something done if it's not bad.
That's why we're gonna all get in the bus and we're gonna go
So
ride.
you're
not
saying,
getting- I'm not getting in the bus with nothing.
so
Well,
you're
keep it like
saying, so you're saying all the jurors up here is gonna go ahead and allocate money to do favors and not do the will and the justice of the people of this parish. That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
I don't do it.
that's bullshit.
I don't do it. You
Bullshit.
do it.
I call it bullshit.
I don't do it,
Okay.
you know? But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on, but to answer your question, we'll look at that at the next meeting. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Palmville. Can I entertain a second? Second by Mr. Blanchard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
We call Engineer Grants Committee meeting order, record reflecting all members are present. First item, update from GIS Engineering, Jordan Moore Street Project, Ray Franville, Bell Road, Pottsville, Loudon.
Good afternoon, Jerry, Dwayne Vay on GIS, Joe Lamar Street. I was contacted by Mr. Paul Hebert to, take a look at the plans, and as Mr. Carter, mentioned earlier, there was some issues from my eyes that needed to be discussed and addressed, regarding the outfalls that weren't associated with the plans. It was my recommendation to set up a in-person meeting, so, Paul and I and Brian went out there today, take a look at it and to make sure that what I was seeing on the plans matched everything, and there seemed to be some discrepancies and I have cause for concern, so that's why we requested, to do the modeling on it. And we'll go there and we'll give you all the information that produces, and then we can address the plans as such. Birchenfield, project is going fine, no issues there. Belrose Lane, we're waiting on the procurement of the piping, which I believe was accepted a minute ago. I'll wait for the guidance on that as far as what we're gonna do to rescope or rebid that project, and we'll address
Yeah,
that.
Well, just as I'm gonna work with Aaron on getting basically the project budget revised, pulling out the cost of the pipes that we need, seeing how much is remaining, and we'll have that for our next meeting.
Sounds good. Plottingville's ongoing, no issues there. Labourdyville drainage, we're just waiting to, see if we were chosen to do the modeling and
Where you at
engineering.
on the RFQs?
You gotta give me the locations. You've never sent me what I needed. You said you would get it to me.
Truly, Libreville wasn't brought. You need more specifics.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you mean? I mean, I can do it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna get with you.
If y'all need any assistance from us too regarding that, since we kind of gave the
The
recommendation.
RFQ
just
is
let
pretty
me know.
specific scope wise, it's not generic.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
She
All right,
shouldn't have just
let's,
waited.
yeah, my phone should have rang.
Hold on, the Platteville drainage project, we need to discuss the email exchanges that we had at the end of last week regarding the dirt on the project.
So I got this. So there was some email exchange that pertains to
Take it away.
field material, okay? So at the inception of this whole project, at the inception of a pre-bid conference meeting, it was not in our budget for us to be able to haul material away. That's why when we started discussing this, that's why I brought the parish manager in on board to say, hey, look, you need some field material, blah, 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 blah. Next thing come, Ward 7, 8, 9, need some help, because guess what? You ain't gonna have enough money to do your project, so you need the field material. That being said, in the whole scheme of things, the landowner that we bought and purchased 10 acres of land to build a retention pond requested for some field material to put back on his land. He also requested a right-of-way to enter his property off of LA Spur 7. With that being said, we have granted that and then some of field material. We have made the right-of-way, and we've also given him some field material. Well, the landowner see trucks leaving off the property and wondering where it's going and blah, 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 blah. Well, the contractor was told in the pre-construction meeting that he is to move material around so they can continue to develop and dig the retention pond. Well, look like the landowner wants more material. So right now, every day, he's been getting over 2,000 yards of good field material, good dirt, right? Which is 2,000 yards a week. He's already has over 35,000 cubic yards of salt, of dirt material. Right? We're probably gonna dig over 150,000 and 200,000 yards of material, which we've already talked to help you, which we've already lined up with Aaron them to try to get a trucking company to try to haul material, try to help you guys. It all comes into the point to where local trucking companies are approaching the landowner, which he don't own the land, neither dirt, and want to give him some money to buy the saw, because they know the saw is like gold. So now the game then changed. Now it look like he wants all the material, and he's not gonna get it. And that's what's happening. You wouldn't have never got an email, you wouldn't have never got a phone call if money wouldn't have been involved with this. And that's where it's got. I think we're doing very well. The project is moving smooth. We're still hauling material on that adjacent site to help the landowner, and we're still moving material around. And we're still waiting on Aaron and them to start their project, so they can start getting some dirt and start helping you guys. That's where we at. I've been in communication with the landowner. He's good with me. I don't know what, I did not ask him, well, what do you want? You want 50,000 cubic, 1,000 yards? What you want? The whole 100? I mean, what do you want? But I think we're still doing our due diligence. Trucks are still, off-road trucks are still dumping every day. We've been blessed with beautiful weather. That project is moving. And that's where we are right now.
All right.
That's where we are right now.
What's happening with the dirt on the other side of the project?
The dirt on the other side?
Mhm.
Only thing I know is, wow, you talking about the berm?
Mhm.
I don't know anything about that. That hadn't come up. Why?
Oh, no, it was discussed in the email. I mean, it's not
On the-
just the
on the
dirt on one
berm?
project, yeah.
I don't know nothing about the berm. I know
Small
the berm is
thing.
being dredged.
The,
I don't know.
the problem that we have right now is everything that you said is word of mouth. We have nothing in writing as to
No,
what's going on with the dirt.
everything that I've said is facts. And that's what happened.
I'm not disputing its facts. All I'm saying is,
So-
it hasn't been documented for all parties to follow.
Okay,
And
so in the purchase agreement, what was documented purchase?
There's
agreement?
nothing in the purchase agreement.
The dirt was for refurbishment of the property.
That's right.
Damages that were done to the landowners, adjacent properties. That's what that dirt was for.
That's right.
It was not extra, it was, how much do you need? It's going to be set aside, because at that time when the project began, no one needed the dirt.
That's right.
All of a
Nobody
sudden,
wanted it.
Now everybody wants the dirt.
That's right.
So I have no
That's right.
problem putting it to writing,
That's
but
right.
again, I don't want to go down any rabbit holes here.
That's
Let's
right.
be very specific.
That's
If you
right.
want to put something in writing, just direct me and we will put it in writing.
That's right. That's where it started from. Nobody wanted it.
I wanted, I just had no place to put it at the
That's
time.
fine, but we just need
Nobody
to know what
wanted
that
it.
looks like.
right, for the entire project. So I'll make a motion that we ask our ADA to work with the project engineer to document, essentially what is going on with the fill material, how they're to direct the contractor as to how the fill material needs to be dispersed.
No, we need to see how much the landowner will get. That's the only one that really wanted, huh?
Yeah, but we got other trucks hauling off of the project site right now
If,
too.
if they're being hauled off, they were directed by the contractor.
And that's what I'm saying, but
And
in the email that I received from the parish engineer, he said that no other dirt was leaving the site. But you can see trucks leaving constantly.
if anything, they were directed by the contractor.
I was contacted by another trucking company because he was told that they're being given the dirt. And I told him, that's not the parish's position.
Okay, so address everything at one time. The landowner, how many more dirt he want? How many more dirt we gonna get?
Well, that's what I'm
landowner?
asking, that we just put it in writing.
Yeah.
Because
put it all.
everything so far has just been word of mouth and we have nothing documented.
But the point, this never would have came up if it hadn't have been about money. That's all, that's the
Always.
bottom
It's
line.
always about
That's the bottom line. That's why we here.
So
But that's fine.
We need it in writing.
That's fine.
We need it right.
Mr. Calabro, can you wanna put something?
We'll
Yes.
give it,
Thank you, Mr. Calabro.
with Mr. Calabro.
y'all wanna allocate to the landowner?
You go over there and you look at it now, and you tell me.
Well,
You look at
you
35,000
think you got
dollars of
enough,
dirt
you got enough
on
already?
5 acres of land. You tell me,
It's pop.
what you gonna do with it? Sell it?
He's gonna sell it.
Okay,
Alright, so
so,
let's cut it out right there. Whatever he has there, that's it.
Has anybody communicated with the contractor about what's happening with the dirt?
So we don't have the construction oversight on Pottenville. We
That
do.
goes through Savoy?
Yeah, it goes to him.
yeah,
So
so,
I think that's the first conversation that needs to occur, is communication with the contractor and see what's exactly happening, and then we can direct, what needs to be put into writing and, effectuate in that regard. But as far as the landowner, that's your decision in terms of what he needs to refurbish his adjacent properties. If you think what is there is sufficient, then you cap it at that and we will go on.
I mean, I
Captain, where
think,
is that?
I think we've done well. We've not, we didn't even purchase the property. We paid for the loss of sugarcane too.
Captain, where is that?
All right, so I think the contractor stopped hauling material. Right?
No. No. We're gonna make some phone calls. I'm gonna get Mike involved with it. We'll get Mike involved with it.
You don't want to slow the project down.
I'm not slowing my project
Yeah, but the
down.
material has to be
It has to-
logged and documented as to what's moving where so that we know how much is moving where.
We
Right
could do
now,
that.
it's
We
not
could do
being
that.
logged
We could do that.
at all.
And
We
make
can do
that
that.
part of your motion, that's directed to the contractor, that we need a log of where all the materials are heading on and off the property.
Gotcha, couple. That's easy.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Leroy that we document and log all field materials that are leaving the project.
The engineer needs to communicate that with the contractor.
By the engineer with the contract. Motion by Mr.
Motion.
Also on the small, or just on the?
The whole project.
The whole project.
That's the original
My
motion.
motion is the whole project.
The whole project.
The whole project.
That's fine.
And the cap off the landowner where he's at on the cubic yardage.
We'll make that as a separate motion.
Motion by Mr. Blanchard, second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. You got another motion, Jim?
Motion to cap off the landowner at the 35,000 or whatever Ron estimated it to be,
The original amount. The cap.
whatever he has
Through
now,
today.
as of today.
Motion by Mr. Palmville to cap the, landowner on materials that, up to today.
As of today.
So there are other landowners associated with this project too. That have, there's been no discussion on how the dirt is handled with the other landowners. That's why I'm asking, we need to put this in writing for the entire project of what happens with the spoils that's pulled out the canals. We passed through different farmers there. Some farmers want the material to put back in their field, and others just want it banked on the side, and others, apparently somebody's selling it to somebody to haul to other parts of the parish. So we just need to figure out what's going on and what can happen with this material. Right now, there's no oversight at all.
So I have a question. And so if we didn't have money in the project to haul the dirt off for ourselves, who's paying for all this hauling now? Whose dollar is that on?
You sell the dirt, you give them dirt away. You sell.
They're selling the material.
You sell
Well, I
material.
understand that, but it's being hauled off.
They're gonna pick it up.
They don't get it, sell it.
The only ones that can speak to this, folks, are the engineer and the contractor.
And then
So we can ask all the questions we want.
Right.
We need to speak to the engineer and the contractor.
Is he coming tonight?
Probably not, he sent a report.
No, right, and that was, I think that was.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Well, we didn't get a motion on. You got a motion for?
I think you got a
Jamie?
sub motion too.
Yes, but
And I think Jamie got a sub motion.
just Jamie, he needs
Jamie.
a second.
It was a cap the current landowner that we're on the job with at the,
Right, which brought Leroy up to talk about what about the other landowners?
If y'all would like, I can give you some insight.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No,
thank you.
no.
so motion by James to cap the landowners through today on what dirt been, that he received.
Correct. And the remaining of the material is for the parish.
Yep, so be it.
Final opinion for it?
There a second?
Need a second? Nobody?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, thanks. Anything else, Dick?
Any other
Oh, good. Update from the Planet Design Group concerning, Gerald Street levy project, ring levies at Fairport Bear River. Yes, sir.
Good evening, jury council members. My name is Brad Hester, representing Planet Design Group. I'll be giving an update on the coastal use permit for the Lower Pier Part Flood Protection Levy, AKA Gerald Street. Currently, we were coordinating with the Corps to have a site visit for a wetland determination. We could assess the value of compensatory mitigation. We were actually very lucky to coordinate that field visit within a week. Thanks to Jamie and Brian for facilitating that visit. We were actually able to convince them to take samples from a location that we believed were wetlands based upon our field diagnostics and our coordination with the coastal management. Currently, we had just received the wetland delineation with data sheets, which I've provided and willing to provide to the council this evening. Currently where we're at in terms of update, from the state's perspective, we've entered into the applicant mitigation intent process to facilitate and basically start compensatory mitigation processing. The last thing we were waiting on is basically a letter from the Corps of Engineers stating what our compensatory mitigation values are and what banks we need to coordinate with. Now, this is a two-tiered process. We are getting a federal and a state permit to allow for that levy to be constructed. So in terms of the federal component, we are at the very, very end and we are just awaiting that letter. Now, in regard to the state permit, I believe I had sent Ms. Torres a copy of the applicant mitigation letter, which may or may not need to be explored a little bit. So you guys better, understand that. So if you all have any questions, just please, just please let us know. Yeah, and I basically brought the whole entire document and the catered letters that are going to be sent out to the 2 affected landowners that have 1 acre or more of impacts on their property. So I guess to put it in layman terms, for the state decision, we're at the finish line. We just need to, again, get our commit storm mitigation values provided by the board, and then move to, again, notify landowners, and then make those purchases in coordinations with the banks to get pricing and available.
So there's still one mitigation.
Yes, what we're officially waiting on, again, from a technical perspective, they have to take the values from what they collected in the field and enter it into basically their wetland assessment model. From there, it's gonna let us know credits per acre that we're on the hook for, and then what banks we're gonna be coordinating with.
And that's for the ring levis?
That's Gerald Street.
Gerald Street, okay.
In terms of the,
DT moves back and forth.
I'm sorry, yeah. In terms of the ring levy project, though, I believe we're not gonna have that proposal until next go around, because Joe Guillory, usually comes up and does this. He had a death in the family. So, yeah.
I thought Gerald Street, the wetland was already decided what it was wetland was.
It's, so yes and no. We didn't want to basically make the parish have to mitigate for the whole entire thing. We had some concerns that, there was wetlands, but it wasn't all wetlands.
Right.
So we were able to kind of coerce, control, if you want, and where we thought the extensive wetlands were, to get you guys a reduced value, so y'all aren't, letting them just rob you blind, okay? So,
So we don't have that number yet.
it's actually, we got a pretty favorable result as well. We're not, for the previous agent was, for reference, for about 20 acres. I think now we're like looking at 4 instead of 20, so, yeah.
Well, that makes a difference in the project moving forward or not.
Well,
Yeah, and the thing is, that's where it becomes complicated, but,
Sure.
like I said, we've kind of been pulling the strings to line it up and have the state, the federal, everything ready to go, so that once we reach mitigation, pull a linchpin, get buy-off from you guys, notify the landowners, make our purchases, and y'all are good to go, all ready to construct.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else? Any questions? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Next item, update from, Infinity Engineering on parish-wide sewer plant improvement projects.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Floor is yours.
We've been coordinating with South Central Planning to get the front ends finalized. I was told that the parish would engage a construction contract attorney to review the front ends and get them finalized. Once they're finalized, we can go to bid.
Sounds good.
No, that doesn't sound good.
I'd like to
Henrietta.
go to bed. Where we at?
We're ready to go to bed. What's the timeline?
I don't know.
We don't,
First of all,
Uh,
it was recommended by Ebony to, get a lawyer to review the bid document.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. They have general conditions that are included in the front end, and they're legal documents that are that define the scope of the contractor's responsibilities with the parish's contract. There's another section called the supplemental conditions, which amend the general conditions. Those are decisions that we cannot make. Those are decisions that the parish must make. And Ebony stated that the parish would engage with a construction contract attorney to review those documents and make the decisions in those front end documents that are appropriate with how the parish does business. So until those decisions are made and those decisions are either made or the documents are edited, we can't really move forward. That's what we've been waiting on for the past few months.
So the documents are ready, they just need to be reviewed.
Yeah, they're legal documents and the parish, does business a certain way and we can't make those decisions for the parish.
I think there's just a disconnect, between, the entities here, but I presume prior to the next meeting, that will be resolved. So if you can just put a pin in that for now, I'll discuss it with Ebony and we'll try to keep this one.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes, one more thing. She did provide some insurance requirements is one of the biggest things we were looking for. But the front end documents need to be reviewed as a whole. And then once y'all tell us y'all are comfortable with it, we can go to bid.
All right. All right,
Stay tuned next meeting.
yeah. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
See you in a couple weeks. Next item, update from the account branch coordinator. First item, request approval and authorize the president to sign the joint use agreement with DOCD for Gilbert to Patty Park.
Yes,
Is it?
needs and bounds were received, no updates were needed, so we're able to approve.
Motion to, authorize the president to sign the joint use agreement. You have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Brown, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Next item, request approval and authorize the president to sign the application mitigation intent form for the Gerald Street Avenue project.
That's what he was just referencing.
Right. Motion by Mr. Mathern,
Second.
second by, Mr. Brown, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Request approval and authorize the president to sign the 2025 Keep Louisiana Beautiful Trash Receptacle Grant Program grant agreement. Moved by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Mathern, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Next item, request approval to select committee for scoring for RFQ for engineering services for Bayou St. Vincent project.
Yes,
This one?
we did receive,
Lauren,
6.
we had a revised agenda. You got yours in the mail, it's not on there. That's why.
Okay, I looked at
That's
it.
why.
It's still in the middle, yeah.
Request approval to select committee for scoring
That's
for
why
the
we don't make-
RFQs for engineering services of Bayou St. Vincent project.
Yes,
Y'all gotta pick your committee.
y'all have to select your committee's 5 members.
When you need that by?
They, OCD requested that we have it by, the engineer is done by April 9th, but I did tell her that's the next, meeting. So it would have to be approved. Y'all would have to
Tonight?
score it.
They
Prior
need
to
a
the next meeting.
recommendation on the next meeting.
Recommendation, yeah.
So
on the
you
next-
have
at the
to
next
select your
meeting,
committee,
April 9th.
meet and review applications prior to the next meeting.
Mr.
But
Jeff
y'all have to select
Narcan,
5 members.
Mr. Jeff Narcan, Mr. Leroy Blanchard, Mr. R. Patero, that's 3. Mr. Diaz, huh?
It's all one.
Say what? Is y'all ward and y'all 2, there you go. That's your
Yeah,
5.
no,
You can't be
it's
5
Oh,
jurors.
you gotta
in
be
the-
4.
Four in the
Four
department head.
All right, so which one of y'all gonna get out, since it's in y'all ward?
Well, Leroy, Ira,
Leroy, Ara, you,
Mike,
or Mike, and who else?
and Chris.
Okay, well, there you go.
I'll get out. That's 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
You need, gotta have 5?
No, she gonna be the 5th one.
You're gonna be the 5th. Yeah, so.
Y'all didn't want
I got
us,
it.
y'all said we don't
No,
know
you-
enough.
we did put one branch coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Did we do that?
No, well, department head.
A department head.
I would ask that we have parish manager participate.
Parish manager be the 5th person.
Parish manager,
Yeah, parish manager.
Leroy, Ira, Mike, Chris, and Aaron.
There you go. That's your 5.
We need a motion on that?
Yeah.
Motion approved that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Pineville,
Second.
You
second by
gotta,
Mr.
you need to
Blanchard.
select the date and make sure that you can get it done before, or you're gonna do it that Wednesday before the meeting.
Oh, no.
No, it has to be done. I mean, we can,
She
You need to select the
Next-
date and the
yeah,
time.
next week, I don't know.
she needs to reach out to y'all tomorrow. Y'all need to come up with some dates. Score this together.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
All right,
You're on the committee.
I did all the people.
You're on the same day.
The whole motion passed?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else?
Update from ELOS, Constant Canal, OCD approved the H&H study on March 20th. They're working on the final application to submit to OCD. On March 24th, they received an updated proposal from GIS for engineering services and are finalizing its cost reasonableness. And St. Vincent, we received the submittals, for the project.
Perfect. Anything else? Any questions? Thank you, ma'am. Update from South Central Planning and Development Commission. Pat Gordon.
Yes, Pat Gordon with, South Central Planning. I think at your last meeting, Senator Allen had, mentioned to submit a capital outlay application for a courthouse. And, we were contacted, so we went ahead and modified, the multi-facility, request for capital outlay for a courthouse.
Courthouse or multi-functional?
Well, it was a multi-facility
Okay.
courthouse, EOC.
Yeah, just wanna
shelter
make
for
sure that
all,
courthouse.
essential personnel,
Yeah, okay.
sheriff, assessor. And all this was gonna be housed in one. We put an application together for 24 million, so, the design planning of this would be 2 million. So my understanding is he's gonna try to get the engineering money for this session. So we put that in, and the support letters from the legislative body should be coming in shortly. We anticipate by the end of the week. I did contact OCD on the LGAP applications, and because they have that additional funding, and we had talked about that, Mr. Blanchard, and they still haven't looked at the applications yet. So they're in limbo, but they said that whatever surplus is remaining, they will put into the account of assumption for LGAP funding. I said, well, how are they gonna know? How are they gonna know what to apply for? And the young lady couldn't answer my question, so I asked to speak to her supervisor. She's gonna call me back. So that's kind of in limbo, and but we're gonna find out how we go about applying for the remainder or allocating the surplus funds to some specific project. Love the Boot event is being scheduled. I think that there was a meeting today with Dow Chemicals and trying to set up a public-private event in the next couple of weeks. Cassie, Parkville Borough Office.
If I could maybe on that, so there were two events we discussed. The first what Dow approached about was doing a household hazardous collection day. They sponsor one in West Baton Rouge Parish. But their timeline to get that scheduled and all of that is like 6+ months. So they're gonna start that process for next year, Love the Boot project, to have a household collection day in Assumption Parish. But we needed something for the application for the second week of April. So Dow is gonna work with the rest on the Dome group and send some corporate volunteers into the Belrose community and collect trash April 11th from 9 to 11.
Perfect. That's perfect. I wasn't sitting in on that meeting, so I appreciate that, those comments. I think that's perfect.
Maybe I'm covering
Belrose Lane.
Can you, maybe see if they can cover Peterbilt and need a lot down there?
Okay, I can, yeah, we can see. So right now it moved very fast because it needed to be put in, but I can certainly talk to them. What we're looking for 12 to 15 corporate volunteers and then some students from Belrose Middle School. So that street may be able to happen. It's just a matter of getting the students there. And we were asked to not have the students on the major highway, just off the side highway. So we can certainly look at that street.
Okay, at the next police jury meeting, we'll have a resolution authorizing the execution of the application for the energy application for the community center that you had added to the list. So that's ready to go now. And energy,
Lights?
on the lights, correct.
That's not that big.
Yeah, that's something that's been in the queue, but it just wasn't in your arena yet.
No, we just got the information on, utility bills and, because we needed that for the application. And now we're ready to submit, but we need a resolution authorizing that. So that'll be on the agenda. Also, I just want to bring to your attention that this list that we had talked about with the projects, this is in your packet. And we do need a motion for y'all to accept this list of projects, of current projects and the added projects. So that we have these codes that we can go by. And y'all had, and I want to thank you for allocating the 30,000, but we also need the list approved.
I entertain a motion to approve the current active projects and added projects.
So move.
Does this look good to everybody? Brianna, did you review it? Everything's on here?
What happens It's in the agenda packet. Agenda packet.
Here, Rihanna, you can use mine.
Anything else? What you're looking over?
I have one other comment is that when Paul talks about the courthouse, he's gonna ask that you deviate from the agenda for a resolution to accept federal guidelines for the courthouse renovation.
I think, Leroy got an update on Shell Beach boat launch. Do you have? No?
Oh, it's just, we received the CEA from CPRA. Our attorney reviewed it and sent back to CPRA, so it's now.
Okay, I'd like a copy.
All right, so motion is good for the current active projects and added projects.
Item number 109 is not current. Water sector program, Europe, Virginia, that's not current.
Is that active?
It should be, that should be dead.
Eliminated that.
Eliminated?
Yeah, but it's still, it says water sector, but it's still the sewer improvement project.
Think so?
Tax water sector program, you, Virginia.
Europe, Virginia,
Is that,
that's not active, huh?
Water sector?
Well, it would be water sewer improvements. I mean, they can
It is the
just.
sewer
It's
improvement
just,
project.
it's just not through this water sector
All right,
program.
okay.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
yeah, it's
If
still
you can-
relevant,
So maybe
Okay.
change the
Just do
description.
water
Stand
sewer
corrected.
improvements.
right?
All right. So
Okay.
move.
all right, motion by
That's all I
Mr.
have.
I'm not on it.
Motion by Mr. Bro, second by
Second.
Mr. Blanchard, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, Mr. Pat. For the next, 6, 7, and 8, update on fire hydrants, the Ag Center roof, courthouse renovation projects. Mr. Salvat sent an email a couple of days ago. I'm not gonna read it all, but for your information, no action taken on those 3.
Yeah, I can give you, on the fire hydrants, they've installed 5. And now that they're moving along, they're trying to do 2 a day. So hopefully they can meet the time deadlines of, the end of this month, end of, April. So they're starting to have some hiccups at first, but they're moving along with almost installing 2 hydrants a day. So that, I checked with them this morning. They're moving now. I check on them every day.
I see them on Highway 1.
I seen them at the head of 308 in Champlain. They had a big pump truck.
That wasn't them.
That wasn't, is that the fire? I mean, it was on the water line. I mean, a fire hydrant.
Yeah, no, they didn't go that.
That must
they
be a
didn't go-
different
they didn't go
company
that-
then.
that warrant yet. Now, on the courthouse, OCD is requesting a resolution. I put it in front of y'all. It's a resolution from the jury to adopt the required CDBG DR program policies and procedures, acknowledgement of program funds to be administered in accordance with OCD grantee administration manual, and appoint various coordinators, officers, authorized individuals to execute the request for payment, authorized execution of documents. It's just a formality that we need to sign, that we're gonna follow their procedures. And that's a resolution that's required from the parish.
Resolution right here.
Yes.
Motion to approve the resolution. You got in front of you, motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Diaz, all in favor? Opposed? That motion carries. Anything else, Mr. LeBlanc?
No, sir, that's it.
All right,
One other thing on courthouse renovation project, Brian.
Okay.
yes, sir.
So we did receive the improved version of the sewer plans. I emailed it to the appropriate people. For review, I did also include the architectural engineer that was involved with the project. So I'll make contact with him tomorrow because it was emailed today to see if he reviewed it and if there's any additional information that he may need. But it was pretty detailed this round, so we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
Yes, no problem.
Anything else? Is it? Next item. Request approval to send letter of no objection for project permit for UT fiber for the installation, operation, or repairs of the installed fiber optic cable underground LA 70 to 112 North Curtis Street. Motion for that?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Bro, second by Mr. Fonville, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Request a letter to send approval, no objection for project permit, Uni Fiber for the installation, operation, or repairs of installed fiber optic cable underground in LA 1008 to 233 LA 1008. Motion, Mr. Mathern, second by Mr. Bro, all in favor?
Jeff, if I could, I get about fiber in the parish. We had an update on the gumbo grant. He notified that we're looking at about August for Highway 70.
Perfect. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? That carries. Thank you, Newbart.
That's to start construction,
Complete.
to complete, oh.
All right, number 11, request approval to send a letter of no objection for project permit for Atmos Energy for the installation, operation, or repair of Dove Drive in Laverdale. No objection for that. They look like they're gonna run a gas line down that street, which they don't have one now, so a lot of people be happy with generators. Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. And I'm not 100% sure they're gonna do it, but they say operation, installation operations. I hopefully they do. Next item, request preliminary approval for a new manufactured home park at 135 and 137 Michelle Road at Bell River. I guess doing his business as B&T Land Rentals LLC, Ward 9. The preliminary approval, just getting the ball rolling. And the motion by Mr. Mathern.
I think it's just coming into compliance, they're already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, all right, it's just still preliminary, get approval. Second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned, Mr. Diaz. Second by Mr. Brewer, all in favor? Opposed, meeting adjourned.
We'll call the order of the public hearing, related to the identification of projects for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant for funding. The time we set public hearing, public comment for.
Good evening. My name is Diana Jones. I'm a resident at 138 Freetown Lane. I've been a resident there for 50+ years. The lane itself is in bad conditioning and needs replacing. I'm here to advocate for Freetown Lane to be considered for the CDBG funding. Thank you very much for listening.
Excuse me, Ms.
Speak by the
Jones.
rule.
The rule. I just want to, remind you to sign in on we have a sign-in sheet.
Oh, we have a little.
I'll pass it around.
Okay, all right,
Thank you,
thank
and I
you.
want to apologize for the phone issue earlier. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Good afternoon. I'm Marvin Robinson. I'm also a resident of Freetown Lane. I've been there 70+ years. We are here to advocate that funding for the CDBG. And we appreciate y'all letting us hear from us. And it's very important to us that we hear. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Janice Johnson, and I'm also a resident of Freetown Lane, 107 Benji Street down Freetown Lane. And I'm here advocating that we get our roads repaired or replaced. And we want to allocate for the CDBG funding also. Thank you for listening.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lakeisha Harris. I reside at 218 Freetown Lane, Belrose, Louisiana. I'm here today along with my Freetown family to speak on Freetown Lane bad road conditions. Through the years, Freetown Lane has developed potholes, sinking pavement, and edge breakage. Yes, Freetown Lane has been patched up quite a few times. But today, we are here asking that Freetown Lane be repaved from beginning to end. This would allow the citizens of Freetown Lane to travel to and from their homes safely, allowing the citizens to walk, exercise, walk their dogs up and down the street, and let us not forget about our kids that ride on their bicycles. This would also give the FedEx, UPS, Amazon, other commuters, and the big yellow school bus the assurance and confidence knowing that when passing another vehicle on the street, they would not slide into the ditch or cause a car accident. So today, we put all our concerns in your hands to help us in making Freetown Land a safe land to travel on, but not just for the people who live down Freetown Lane, but for Assumption Parish and its surroundings. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, safety is #1 priority. Thanks for your time.
Any other public comment for the public hearing? Last call. Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Motion by Mr. Diaz, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Now call order the regular meeting for the Assumption Parish Police Jury for Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Let the record reflect all members are present. Please rise. God, who teaches us by sending the light of the Holy Spirit into our hearts, grant that by the light of that Spirit, right judgment may be ours, and that we may ever find joy in his guidance. Amen.
Please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any corrections to the minutes of March 12th, 2025 that were emailed to you? Entertain a motion to accept, to approve those minutes. Motion by Mr. Bro. Second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment period. At this time, we accept public comment for any item on the agenda.
Okay, I haven't done this in a while, so y'all excuse me. I want to make this short, I promise.
We need your name, please.
Karen St. Clair. At home, stay home with my dog. For several days now, been having this discussion about the possibility of the Gomesa funds not being applicable. And I want to tell you that it absolutely is. Had this discussion with Jerome Zarang, who's the head of Appropriation Committee. He was also the chairman of the Coastal Protection Association for 3.5 years before he got elected to office. I don't say things that I don't know. We all know how politics works, and for probably the first time, I'm disappointed in some of the decisions that are made without y'all calling top people. Y'all need to do it, not me. I don't want to be this go-between. But at the end of the day, the project does fill in Gomesa perfectly. It's on everybody's list at the Capitol, this is one of the top kind of projects. And so guys, take a look at this again, please. CPRA says we are probably one of the areas that have the worst flooding, surprise flooding, because of the way we're situated in the lower basin area. It backs up on us, it comes for us. So Napoleonville, Assumption Parish, Pierre Park, I don't care where it's needed. But if it's needed, don't pretend it doesn't exist. Don't pretend that it's not applicable, because it absolutely is. And I made sure to cover my tracks, and I talked to the people that are at the Capitol who help with this committee. And they said they make the language loose enough because of the way different communities need for different reasons. And they leave that to y'all. And so at the end of the day, I'm gonna stop here because I'm not real good at speeches. I never was, so. But I want you to know that those rules apply for everybody. Everybody here who needs. Don't X one out because somebody thinks it's not right, because nobody called the Capitol. They told me themselves, nobody called for an opinion or any such thing. I wouldn't lie to you, because I know y'all know where I live. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Hello, I'm Daryl Gomez, 664 Michelle Road in Pierre Park, Louisiana. I'm wanting to make a statement about the use of Go Mesa funds for Veterans Park. On behalf of the board, I do tell each and every one of you, thank you very much for considering using the Go Mesa funds to establish this critical need for the community. You know, in essence, it's the perfect partnership you could ever establish to bring critical needs for hurricane protection by joining with us and the state. The state has dedicated $270,000. The board is asking, as Jamie, thank you very much, Mr. Jamie, for offering the $90,000. And then the recreation district would maintain it. It would be no expense to you from that point on. So that's the partnership and how to get it done for the needs of that area. It's not about recreation, even though the park is a recreation center, just like Attakapaw is a recreation center. Everywhere that we have gone to talk about the use of Go Mesa funds, the language in the act is just as Karen stated, loosely stated. And so what you do is you take the narrative from your project and how that condition fits to use your Go Mesa dollars for that project, which is, I'm sure you use coastal protection for the Attakapaw. So, you know, I have also, on the board's behalf, reached out to the federal level to find out what the federal opinion is on the use of Go Mesa funding. And at this point in time, it's very general for the very reason that you get to do like you're writing a grant. What is going to be the project and how does it fit the need that the act says? Projects and activities for the purposes of coastal protection, including conservation, coastal restoration, hurricane protection, and infrastructure directly affected by coastal wetland losses. We feel that completely in it. So your use of Go Mesa funds are correct, and they can be used to get a bond attorney's opinion to decide on that be the only way you make the decision is almost unfair to the people you represent, because I feel like you guys really want to protect the people. And this is a state, a parish, and a recreation district partnership to bring something that's desperately needed to a community that has little protection from water rising. So thank you for your consideration. We hope you come back and we can continue to partner to complete the project.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Barrow.
Any other public comment? Last call. Next item, Drainage Committee report, Chairman Bonneville.
This, drainage committee meeting was held this afternoon. All members were present. Had, an update, not really an update from the Lord, Texas, Monterey, Conchette Morelia Canal, so Mr. Landry's gonna see what we could do. We're gonna get the plans from Mr. Sawa and then go from there. Item number 2, we allocated $4,000 for drainage improvements to Freetown Lane. Item number 3 is tabled. Item number 4, we approved the culvert replacement at 3700 Highway 1. We approved the culvert replacement at 115 French Lane. Approved the culvert replacement on Little Texas Road. Approved the dig out economy 8 outfall ditch. We approved the clean out the outfall from Georgette Street, Georgia Plantation, and the Supreme. We approved to get a hydraulic module for Jolamore Street Drainage Project. We approved the $700 for the delivery of an excavator on project 93-223. We approved levee repairs at 456 Bayou Drive. We approved the culvert replacement at 117 Gerald Street. And we approved the Go Mesa funds to purchase discharge piping for the amount $35,000 for Fall Street pumping station. Isn't this all in form of a motion, sir?
Mr. Chair, just for clarification, I know our next meeting is gonna be April the 10th. It was discussed in committee about getting that information from the engineer on April the 15th, which is the following Tuesday. Y'all asking just to be clear on it, Mr. Bro gonna be coming here at the next meeting looking for those documents. Maybe Mr. Bro can request to see if he can get it here for the next meeting, which is the 9th. And it can be discussed then. I just want, because I know he's gonna come here looking for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I just wanted to put that, because I know it was discussed and it gonna come back and, it's gonna be a whole bunch
That's
of.
our next meeting, Mr. Bro.
Yeah, so see if you can reach out to him and see if he can get it.
If we can get it.
It's only a couple of days.
Oh, I can ask, but you know the answer. Y'all know the answer, but I'll ask.
I'll request that you can.
Somebody say the 12th, and somebody say the 15th, I just wanted to point that out.
Be better off with you requesting it. All right, motion to accept it read.
Motion to accept the report by Mr. Pineville,
Second.
second by Mr. Carter. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Personnel Committee report, Chairman Diaz.
Personnel Committee met at 4:24. All members were present. Item 1, we approved to hire accountant at grade 8, step 13. And 2, we approved the end of probationary period for equipment operator 3, effective 4/4/25. 3, we approved to end the probationary period for equipment operator 1B, effective 4/4/25. We approved the end of probationary period for general maintenance worker, effective 4/6/25. We approved to hire equipment operator 3, grade 5, step 28. We approved to hire maintenance worker, grade 4, step 13. 7, 8, 9 were tabled. Present this in the form of a motion.
I just want to make sure we have the right, item 5. For the equipment operator 3, you said grade 3, step 28.
Grade 5, step 28.
Grade 5, step 28.
Second is motion.
Motion by Mr. Diaz to accept the report, second by Mr. Nakam. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. Finance Committee report. Finance Committee met at 5:07. Today, we approved to pay the list of bills submitted through March 21st, 2025. We approved the budget comparison statements for February 2025. For the next item, we discussed the transfer of the $90,000 to Veterans Park from Go Mesa funds, and we're requesting an opinion from the bond attorney. We discussed the grants management contract with South Central Planning and approved an increase of up to $30,000 to complete year 1 of the contract. We approved and accepted annual bids for waterway debris removal and large diameter culverts. We had 2 deviations. In the first one, we approved $10,000 for the office furnishings for the judge's office. And we approved the purchase of 2 pickup trucks from federal surplus, pending the inspection of those vehicles by the parish manager and our maintenance foreman.
Before you go to vote, Michael, The amendment to South Central Planning's contract, you think a resolution is sufficient or we need an actual contract amendment?
I think a resolution, would suffice. If Kevin wants an amendment, I could simply draft it up based upon that.
That
But let's
one,
do
a
the
resolution.
resolution
Okay.
now. If I have to put it to writing, I can.
Okay, thank you.
Entertain a motion to accept that report. Motion by Mr. Pineville, second by Mr. Alcorn.
Mr. President, before we move on with that, I'd like to, take number 3, let's vote on number 3 separate. We tabled it, but I'd like to.
Well,
bring that
there's
back
nothing to
up.
vote on right now.
Well, I'd like to, just put for the record that if we could go ahead and use the 90,000 for Gomesa, but if something happened that would get kicked back, the recreation will reimburse the parish for the recreation board. Do we make a motion in that effect? That way we
Why don't you
can
just wait
go
to
with the
see,
project?
wait to see what the opinion comes. If the opinion comes positive, you ain't gotta go there.
I just want
You
to
follow
keep it
me?
rolling.
I'm
And
good
if
with it.
not, and if it comes back where they wouldn't do it, then they'll take it over.
Well, right. Well, you probably have to go that way regardless. I would say this.
Right.
Never
Never mind that, we'll just go with.
All right. A motion to accept the report by
that read.
Pineville, second by Alcorn. All in favor? Opposed?
Just for the record, we're not against it. We're just afraid that we don't want the general fund to get hit 90 grand. Bottom line.
All right, Road and Bridge Committee report, Chairman Alcorn, you and I tried to hijack it from.
This is okay. Road and Bridge met this afternoon. Everyone was present. 2 items on the agenda. First, we approved to close out the 2023 road overlay program, paying the contractor the amount of $110,789.44. And item number 2, we discussed the 2025-26 road overlay program, setting a budget of $3.5 million. I give you my report in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Alcorn,
Second.
second by Mr. Bro, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Engineering Grants Committee report, Chairman Nakir.
Yes, all members are present. We had an update from GIS on Jordan Moss Street project, Bricklandville Drainage Project, Bell Rose Lane, Quanville Drainage Project. We had a couple motions. One of them was to, we document all, field materials. And second one was the cap landowner up to today's, land, dirt that was, that he got today. Mainly, library drainage project, we had a update on that, but we are going off RFQs. No miscommunication. Rayetta, you need boundaries. Paul and Aaron, can you get that to her?
Yeah, we will communicate tomorrow, see if
Let's do it. I mean, this is pretty top for all about it. So we can't drag our feelings out. Thank you. Next item, we had update from the Planet Design Group on Gerald Street levy project, ring levers in Fairport. Next update for Infinity Engineering on Paris Wide Sewer Plant Improvement Projects. We had update on, grant account, grant coordinator. Request approval and authorize, we requested and approved the president to authorize to sign the joint use agreement with DOTD for Gilbert, the Batted Park. We authorize the president to sign application mitigation intent form for Gerald Street levy projects. We authorize the president to sign the 2025 Keep Louisiana Beautiful Trash Receptacle Grant Program grant agreement. We also request approval to select a committee for scoring of RFQs for engineering services for Bayou St. Vincent project. And that'll be Mr. Blanchard, Mr. Ira Patero, Mr. Mike Diaz, Mr. Chris Carter, and Mr. Aaron Landry. Next item, we had update from our South Central Planning Development Commission. Update on fire hydrant projects, and update, nothing on an ag center, but via email. Update on courthouse renovation projects, and we did approve a resolution in that effect. We request approval to send letter of no objection from project permit for UT Fiber for the installation, operations, and repairs underground LA 70 112 North Curtis Street and LA 1008 to 233 1008. We also requested approval to send out no objection for project permit for Atmos Energy for the installation, operation or repair of Dove Drive in Laverdeville. We also request preliminary approval for a new manufactured home park at 135, 137 Michelle Street in Bell River. Present you that in the form of a motion, Mr. President.
Motion by Mr. Nakam, second by Mr. Carter. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Public hearing report, prior to our meeting, our regular meeting tonight, we had, a public hearing and, we had 4 residents, that spoke at the public hearing, with respect to the identification of projects for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant, for funding.
Motion to accept.
Motion to accept the report by Mr. Alcorn, second by, Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item, discuss sewer tie-ins. Mr. Palmville.
Yes, sir. I put this on the agenda to discuss the tie-in of the sewer lines for residents as, I spoke with Mr. Abear and Mr. Landry, can elaborate on this as well. It's taken, 3 of our employees out, equipment, whenever we're tying in these sewer lines, and it's holding up some of our projects. So I have never seen or heard of a parish or entity that's gonna tie in or dig for the tie-in of their, a resident's sewer line. Most of the time, this is on the resident, that they have to hire someone, a plumber, licensed plumber, to go and tie in their sewer lines themselves. And it's inspected by the parish. So I don't know why we keep doing this. Mr. Landry?
I, was able to get an estimate from a local plumbing contractor, what they would charge us to actually perform the tie-in completely. To cut the road, dig the main line, they backfill. The only thing we have to provide would be the 610 backfill aggregate to go back up to the road surface. And then we would take it over from there with coming back later in compaction and then put cold mix on top of it. He gave a rate of $1,350, $1,350 per tie-in. Estimated in-house right now, and this is a rough estimation for it. It's about, I would say per day, because it takes 8 hours, dealing with a plumber, $744 of labor, and it's tying up no less than 2 employees, 1 dump truck, 1 excavator. That's not accounting 4 hours that I would allocate to going and cutting the road prior to actually excavating the tie-in for the plumber. That's just a rough dollar amounts for it. It does tie up 2 to 3 people for a day at the scheduling convenience of a plumber. So,
Question I got, before you get any further. So you got a sewer line going along the highway, right? Just like you got a water line going along the highway or wherever, or the street, all right? So when a landowner wanna hook up water to his place, the water works go there and tie into the main line and put a meter, and after that, the respect is on the landowner, meter back, right?
correct.
So if a landowner wanna tie into the sewer, and the sewer is along any lane, why are we, the parish has to tie in?
Because when
And
they,
so it's a straight pipe, right?
yeah, but because when the sewer system was put down, the engineer and then whoever did the contract, they was supposed to put an outlet at every property.
That makes
So
sense.
when
The fee or whatever.
yeah, so when the resident gets ready to tie in, they just go there and tie in. Well,
Not talking about
that-
that instance.
huh?
Not that instance, no.
I mean,
But just in general,
Just like a regular tie-in, not that thing.
yeah, but I'm saying if that wasn't done, that's why we gotta go to the main pipe now and tie in. If that would have been done, we would never have to do this then.
True. You're right. So. Right, and. Again, just in all honesty, I just say it does tie up some people to do it. This is a price for a plumbing contractor to do it where. It would alleviate us tying up people for an entire day. To do
I
it.
think really that question is that why are we incurring the cost of it, even if we hire a contractor? So
No, you
I'm
are,
really interested in this, and I talked to the plumber that we have to accommodate upon basically his schedule. So we're in the middle of a project, we have to leave it to come and do this, okay? But the funding would still have to come from us, from what he's telling me, because he also works in Ascension Parish and for the city of Donaldsonville. And the city of Donaldsonville pays him to do the entire thing. The parish of Ascension pays him to do the entire thing, but they're still funding the tie-in. Okay, and I asked him why. I asked him the question why. He said because the resident pays up to the right of way of the road. And then the parish and the city pays from the right of way of the road to the sewer line. My biggest concern when I spoke to Aaron about it is that we actually pulling people off of a project. Like if they're putting in pipe on Freetown Lane. And the plumber says, I need to put a tie in and I'd like to do it on Thursday. Everybody's gotta leave there because even if let's say you could do it 2 people, but you're 3 people with it, what does Vernon gonna do with us? Stand up on Freetown Lane and just talk to people? It ties up the whole crew.
and it was,
So-
but
so-
why ain't a T put in at every lot?
because they messed up and didn't do it.
That's.
But
And the
on
bad-
a
the bad
typical good engineered project, you'll have a T at every house, a
Yeah,
T at every lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, for example, definitely if it was done preliminary, they would have wanted every existing structure.
So these are new trailers?
it doesn't matter if it's somebody built a new house on a lot that was already there.
Did
But
you
if,
had it?
but if you had a trailer or a house there already, then you should have somewhere to tie in. They miss a couple of those, plus, like I say, if somebody coming in on just an open lot down there and getting ready to, and wanna build or move a trailer, they didn't leave a tie in. So what they were doing in the past is the landowner paid for electric, a plumber to come out there, the parish go open the road up for them, and then the plumber tie in, and
Yeah,
then the parish close the road back up.
yeah. And they've been doing it for a long time,
That's.
a long time.
It was.
So
I don't know
from
why.
but what he's saying
Costing
is,
us money.
in the other parish, what they doing, it's gonna cost more money to do it like the other parish, because what they doing is, they provide the tie-in to the property, and then the landowner go from there. So,
LaFouse, I think, accesses the road.
yeah,
That's basically
That's
what
what
we
they
You
do.
know what, Mike?
yeah,
What you
I
say?
think LaFouse cuts opens it up.
They opened it up for them too?
but like I said, if it was done right, you wouldn't be going through all this.
Yeah.
Cause those they'll be right there, you talking about a $25, probably $50, something that should have been caught doing it when they installed,
Yeah, again, it's.
yeah.
So basically, if you look at the plans for when these community sewer plants were put in, you go back and look at history. It'll tell you, when the lot was vacant, no one was occupied, there wasn't a water line there. There probably wasn't a tie-in put there, but should it have been? Yes, absolutely. Because every lot should have been, that was divided, should have had a tie-in on adjoining, and that's the issue right now. People are moving there, they're getting water, there's no
You
tie-in.
got plans?
You can look at previous sewer plans from years
But you have
past.
Plans, why are we doing the tie-ins now?
As in like,
Set of plans, to look at.
As-built.
As-built
I mean, how
plans.
many you talking about? How many y'all do?
so I think
Just-
so far this year.
Sporadically, it ain't like no every day.
You might
No.
have maybe about 3 or 4 a year that,
Oh.
you know what I'm saying?
I think we just did one, Rayetta, they just did one Didn't I see a bill to a plumber
Well, so I think so far this year, I believe we've
in the
done
list, this
three.
list?
Done three.
So how many
Like we
fixes
do
gonna
next
fall?
week or two.
All your sewer plants, every, has a T?
Oh, yeah, that's the way it should be.
The New Virginia project was designed,
Yeah.
every single line had to tie in or why.
You
To
can forget
accommodate
about
each
Ward
lot.
6, we don't want no more sewer projects. Not at the cost.
Fix what we got and keep them moving. Or like Leroy said, we're gonna get off the
Gotta
sewer.
be careful on who you hire as an engineer, guys.
There you go.
Well, there's obviously, there was no QC.
All right, do we have, a written procedure as far as for the sewer time process that we can give a resident whenever they ask?
No, it is really just recited off of memory.
Can you document that for us? I think it would be better for the jurors if we had that written procedure and we'll adopt it. That way we can tell them, this is our procedure for how we tie in.
For the jurors, I have it in their warrants. Yeah, it was something that came up with Mr. Chris, that we didn't have one, and somebody was requesting one, but yeah, I'll throw something out.
Any other action on that item? Next item, request approval of the following occupational licenses, Lafitte's Treasure Casino, number 77, Thibodeau, which I believe is in Lavender, but it's a Thibodeau address, and it's a name change. VJM Ministries, Bell Rose, and Taste This Flavor, Bell Rose.
That's not flavor.
I said flavor.
Favor.
You gotta put it on.
Flavor. It's a move.
Can't even wait for you to say
Thank
that.
you.
I can't wait to hear Mr. Leroy say this.
A motion by Mr. Diaz to accept, second by Mr. Bro. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Request approval of the following liquor license application, Lafitte's Treasure Casino, 2573 Highway 1, Thibodeau, 70301. It's a name change. Motion by Mr. Bro,
Second.
second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor?
Favor.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any other item?
Motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned by Mr. Nakane. Second by Mr. Alcorn.